Daly City Arts and Culture Commission. My name is Elizabeth Espinda, member of Daly City Art and Culture Commission. Good evening. I believe that art is important to the life of our community and nourishes human development. Its purpose is to promote communication, cooperation, and support for the arts and services within our city and county, to serve as liaison between the arts and businesses, government, and educational institutes, to provide educator services for and about the arts. Thank you in advance for your confidence in our mission and our accomplishments. It is your continued support that makes our work possible. Now, I would like to turn this to Commissioner Dory Panessa to introduce our Artist of the Month.
Hello, good evening, everyone. The Norcal Kababayan Community Group started by these three young, talented film here in the Bay Area. The founder is Miss Sabrina Cordova and Brix Poragao and Marjorie Lualhati, the two moderators behind with Sabrina. I'm so proud of these two young ladies and one guy that they did a good job to the Filipino community here in the Bay Area, in Northern California. And also, I would like to grateful that one of my best friend, like my anak-anakan, like my goddaughter, with the cooperation of Global Filipino News Channel. That's a Filipino channel and also in the newspaper, right? It was Mayet Domingo, the executive producer of GFNS channel. Thank you guys for your all support to our Filipino community, especially for celebrating the Phil-Am Heritage Month of this month of October. Go ahead, Miss Marjorie.
Hello, good evening, everyone. It is a great pleasure to be one of your guests on this tonight for celebrating the Filipino History Month. We are so grateful to Tita Dory because she believes in us, like even though it's only the three of us and we are managing like almost 40,000 members in our community group, but we always get the support of all the government officials, the government agencies, and we are so proud of that. Yeah. And then the Norcal Kababayan is started by Miss Sabrina Cordova during pandemic. It is only like she started this community group for just a very simple reason, just to find food during pandemic since we are all in shelter in place. And then it just grew up before our eyes. And then this became the silver lining of all Filipinos in Northern California during pandemic. Our vision statement is a community group that embodies the cultural spirit and solidarity that unites the Filipino as one, to be acknowledged and recognized by the society to showcase the best of the Philippines. And our mission statement is to be the bridge that connects the Filipinos in Northern California that lift each other up through bayanihan, cultural traditions, diverse culinary talents, and entrepreneurial skills of our own heritage. Yep.
Maybe we can show the video?
Yeah.
Lailani, for the video.
I wasn't sent a video, but you guys have share screen ability.
Okay, got it.
And so maybe while we are waiting for the videos, maybe I can explain and how everything during pandemic, and then how are we now as a group. So as of now, we have like different groups, and almost every month, every weekend, we always hold an event in every different cities in Northern California. So it is the time for us to gather all the Filipinos. We formed during a pandemic. Like we don't even know where we should go and find food before, because all the restaurants are all closed. But because of the talent of the Filipinos, so now when Miss Sabrina started the community group, so she just really just like to find food. So that is her first, like, she only have like started like 1 member, 2 members, 3 members, and then it became 20, and then it became 100, and then it became 200 members. And then before our own eyes, it just grew up to 10,000. It was only 200 members when I joined the group, and then it became 10,000, 20,000, 25,000, and now we're almost 40,000, and we still have like almost 15,000 member requests. We just don't allow, or we just don't approve member requests, because we have to make sure that all these members who wants to be a member of our group are all legit, and they're not scammers or they're not hackers. Because you know what, in social media now, it's just so hard, especially if you are managing a group. Yeah. So, and then we always have like during our first anniversary, we are so grateful for the San Mateo County, because they were there and they witnessed how our group grew, and then until now it's still growing. So with the help of all the agencies and all the government officials of the different counties in Northern California, we are so grateful, because we always get their back, and they're always helping us. So most of these sellers, they lost their job. Some of them lost their family members during COVID, and this became the silver lining of all these sellers, of all these members in the community. So now we are Ms. Sabrina, who started this all. We also have some members from different states now, like Wyoming, Texas, Florida, New York, New Jersey, and then and we also have some members in Southern California. That's also, and then with the collaboration of different group or different cities in the Northern California, we always holding events. So like we always got invitation from the churches, from schools. So because until now, we're still in pandemic. It's not unlike before, but this really helps the sellers to contribute to the livelihood of their family. Yeah. So
if I could say something, Marjorie, I think it's very inspiring that this group grew out of the pandemic. I was just looking at the group, and it looks like the group was created in July of 2020. So just in like 15 months or so, 16 months, it was able to grow such a huge number. And I remember joining like months ago, and I was tasked to write something about Filipino food, and Filipino food and cuisine is an art. Let me just say that it's an art. It's an important part of our culture, and I actually referenced your group because this was when all the titas and the grandmas were making pandesal out of their own ovens and selling it. So truly, the Filipino entrepreneurial spirit came out during the pandemic. And it's just a joy, because I remember like going to the Philippines and having pandesal fresh in the morning, and then my partner came home with like brown paper bags of fresh pandesal, and it brought me back to Philippines. So just knowing that there's so many people in my neighborhood that were creating such amazing dishes was nice to see in a time of like depression and sadness, and a light came out of that. So thank you to your group for doing that.
It's like we were always like me, I'm also a seller. So we're always telling each other that we are united by food during pandemic. Yeah. So
That's
we're still,
wonderful.
yeah.
That's a really nice humanitarian services that you guys did that in a matter of just a year and a half. Did you say? Yeah, a year and a half. So that's wonderful. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. But I can't wait until I see all this food on the screen. But I'm still trying to perfect my adobo. I never, no matter what I do, I don't know how to make that.
Yeah.
I'm having some technical difficulties right now to share, but it's ready. I'm not sure if you guys are gonna see it though. So it's ready to play, but it doesn't show and share. Is it possible, Miss Elizabeth, to show your the one I sent you so you
Uh,
can share it?
okay, let's do that. See if I could.
So while Miss Elizabeth is doing that, Marjorie, maybe you can share how do they do or how will they join Norcal Kababayan?
Oh yeah, you guys just have to go to Norcal Kababayan community group and then click join. So normally, me, Sabrina, Briggs, and we normally, we always have to check the member request. We just don't approve it right away because we just have to make sure that it's a legit member request. Because there's a lot of scammers and hackers, and we do not want our members to be affected and to be scammed by all these people. Yeah, like I was when Miss Elizabeth said that until now she cannot perfect the adobo. I think it's just depend on the taste of the one who's making it, because I believe like in the Philippines there are different cities or different towns, but they cook adobo in a different way. Some of them they just cook it purely in vinegar. Sometimes they combine the soy sauce and then the vinegar, and sometimes I also met a friend of mine way back in the Philippines. She cook adobo with tomatoes. So it's a different, and sometimes we, like to add more flavor, we also put like laurel and then like potatoes and then egg.
Mhm.
It's like a combination of egg and the chicken.
Okay. Excuse me. I'm having issue here, Joanne. I just sent it to you. You are the expert of this. Can you help, please?
Yeah. I think I agree with the computer. Yeah.
I'm not a
So
computer
I do
savvy.
the show, I do the outline, but I don't do the back, like the back show. All the technicalities we have our technical directors. So
Joanne is the I tell you, I have to learn from her.
Yeah.
She's the expert on this.
Where did you send it, Elizabeth? Was it under Google?
I sent it to email.
I don't see it yet.
Can we try that again?
Is it a file that I have to download, or is it an online link?
It's a file.
It's a file. Okay, so I would have to download it.
I believe so, because I got a file.
Okay. Yep, I don't see it yet.
So maybe while we are waiting for the video, maybe all of us can just can talk. What is your favorite Filipino food? And if you are if you're expert on making this one, how about you, Ate Mayet?
She's busy.
Oh yeah. How about you,
No,
Tito?
I love chicken curry. I don't know you guys. I can eat chicken curry for 10, 20 years. So chicken curry is my go-to. Like if I'm sad, I'm happy. It's just yeah. That's me. How about
Dory.
Patties? Oh,
Okay, I'm Ilonggo, so I'm so proud to say that we are special with the La Paz special batsoy. That's a
that?
soup. Yeah, the special made only in Iloilo.
What is that?
It's
It
noodles with some
You don't get it yet?
mixed with the intestine, some slice, but it's good. It's good. That's our special. We call that La Paz special batsoy.
Yeah.
That's our specialty in Iloilo.
Yeah. Do you know how,
Sal-
Tita Dory? Do you know how to cook that?
Of course, with pancit molo. Yeah. It's
How
a
about for other region? What is your favorite aside from your town?
me.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
KBL, KBL,
Huh?
the KBL, Kajos Baboy Langka. We call that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so it's like
Eh,
beans and pork and
Yes.
jackfruit.
Yes, dear.
Get it yet, Joanne?
I'm working on it. Working on it right now. Let me see. Give me 10 seconds. Hold on.
No problem.
All right.
And
Hey,
you're talking
Leilani,
about
can you,
the
So
adobo.
you're a guru on this.
let me
And
see if I can
Marge,
share.
you're talking about the adobo in Ilonggo. We have that like a curry color.
oh,
Uh,
All right.
So-
there you go.
Okay.
Miracle,
Good
Joanne.
job, Joanne.
yeah, I think this is the one.
Good job, Joanne.
Yay! But you're in trouble, Cauldron.
Oh, that's it.
I know.
Stop share. And we are back.
yes,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Joanne. If it wasn't because of you, people would not be hungry. I mean, hungry right now. Are you guys hungry now? I believe you are. You've seen so many food. You got pancit, you got chorizo, you got the lechon, you got different delicacies like the suman, the rice cake, everything, even the pies. We just from egg pie, from buko pie, from cherry pie, everything. Filipino can make anything, you know. Filipino are so talented with different dishes. I mean, everyone is actually we have different kinds of food as a you know we have different like other races also have different specialties, but since you know we're discussing about Filipinos right now, just amazing, right? Because just to give you like an information, From one piece of pork, Filipino can make it in different kinds of dishes. For one piece of beef, they can make it like in different ways as well. And even rice. It's not just white rice. They do everything with rice. So we are really encouraging you guys to add Norcal Kababayan so that you will know when are they going to be, where are they going to be, and then who are the sellers. Imagine they have about, Marjorie, correct me if I'm wrong, they have over 100 vendors. 100 vendors. It's not just one, two, three. You will be you'll be amazed, you will be overwhelmed actually, because let's say if they are at Tanfran, which is, usually Tanfran is in the middle of our place right now, you will be surprised because in one location you have your main dish. No, I'll discuss first about appetizer. You have a choice of appetizers, main dishes, and of course, desserts. And you'll be surprised too because they have different kinds of like drinks.
Yeah.
Non-alcoholic right now, okay? We're not allowed to sell alcoholic beverages, but they did you know that they can make like the coconut into a drink, like a melon to a drink, like a
Cantaloupe.
pineapple. So there's a lot of variety and there's a lot of kinds of food. Now, as the executive producer of the show, you've seen the OBB, the opening billboard of Norcal Kababayan show. That is the first season. They will have a second season. So I really encourage you, just add Norcal Kababayan and add our page, the GFN channel page. We have about 16,000 followers at this moment, and that is because of Norcal Kababayan, because they have 35, 36, I think 40 already, right, Marjorie? So we encourage you guys to, you guys from the Arts and Commission, plus the viewers right now from this live telecast, please, please, please add the Norcal Kababayan and add the GFN channel as well. So again, they will have a season 2, guys, and then we will be inviting different guests, different vendors. You will learn actually because they're discussing how they cook. Miss Elizabeth, how they cook a specific dish. So let's say, like the example a while ago, adobo, like Marjorie said, some provinces, some people, some vendors put tomato, put egg, put quail egg, and then you'll be surprised too because there's the lechon. It's not just the whole pig. From that lechon, they can make a different kind of dish. So that's going to be in season 2. So I'm really, really excited. I hope you guys are going to add the page so that you would be up to date. When is the next show for the Norcal Kababayan? And as a GFN executive producer, also I'd like to share to you guys that we have about 10 more shows. We have the Sari Sari Stories. We have Vilma Live in LA. So we have a host in LA. We're all over actually, guys. The GFN channel is all over. We have Real Talk with Sabrina Wong. We have Lakbay ng Buhay. This one discusses about OFWs, and people also from Dubai, people from Saudi Arabia. So that's one of the shows. We have the Kabayan Seattle. And we have also the Kabayan New York. And we have the Sansu Ramsey show. From the Filipino out there, if you're familiar with Miss Elizabeth Ramsey, the Tina Turner of the Philippines, her daughter, Sansu Ramsey, has a show under GFN. So we are very, very happy about that. She just finished a play, San Lorenzo Ruiz. So yeah, so that's Sansu. And of course, the Norcal Kababayan show is going to have its season 2. And please, please, please wait in January, hopefully, the upcoming Kababayan SF.
Okay.
So we will have a Kababayan SF.
The Philippines has 3 different regions, correct? They have
Correct.
the Mindanao, Visayan, and Luzon.
Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So
Yeah.
usually in Luzon, I'll discuss to you like what's with Luzon, right? What is Luzon? In Luzon, the famous food is more of like sisig, like laing, they're more on to grilled,
Grilled food.
Oh,
Yeah.
grilled food. Now for Visayas, like, Miss my Tita Dory said, it's more of lapas bachoy, like the soup. It's more onto soup. They also have the chicken molo. Chicken molo is like it's also a soup, but it has like noodles.
Mhm.
So it's different varieties, variation of food, even though they don't do. Does Visayan, the bok choy in Visayan also have the bok choy in the Mindanao in Luzon?
Yes,
But
They
it's
they do,
different.
but in
Different.
different,
Yeah.
yes, in a different way of cooking it.
Yeah.
They call it now because they added some twist in the food.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it's just like it could be the same, but adobo as well, correct? Right?
I really love adobo, Miss Elizabeth. Don't worry. Marjorie, did you know that Marjorie is also a seller? Her company name or her store name or restaurant name is Kusina ni Darna. Darna in the Philippines is the counterpart of Wonder Woman.
My.
So our superhero named Darna. So Darna, will swallow a rock and then he will shout Darna and she turns like a superhero.
Wonderful.
So
Marjorie,
Marjorie is actually a good cook. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
so Marjorie, when we're gonna have on-site meeting and event in City Hall,
Yeah,
can
I
I call you?
would love for you guys to taste my
Yes.
food.
Oh my God, the sisig. I recommend you. I hope you guys are familiar with sisig. It's chopped pork, with egg on top. Oh, and it's sizzling. Sometimes it's sizzling. Sometimes it's like Marjorie, one of the best sisig cook.
I
The truck running around, sisig truck.
Yeah.
They have different types of sisig. They have the chicken, they have the pork.
now we have the tofu for the vegetarians.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah. My friends from high school, Evan and Gil, they're from Westmore, Daly City. And they actually own the senior seasick truck with the chicken and the tofu and the pork. They're super popular right now.
They
They can be part of our event.
Yeah. Gil
Yeah. For Mindanao, so like what you said, Miss Elizabeth, the Philippines has Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And if you can see, I mean, you go to the map, see, it's like a human sitting down. That's how it looks like.
and they also have some historical places, correct?
Correct.
That are famous.
For the just wanna add for the Mindanao, they are actually their main dishes were pininyahang manok. I know some people doesn't like
Those are the specialty.
pineapple in the pizza, the Hawaiian type. Now they putting pineapple with chicken and coconut
we
milk.
also cook that in Luzon. I'm from
Yeah, we
Luzon.
do. What there's the kind of twist, like like there's a lot of kinds and ways Filipino can make the dishes, like Filipino dishes and delicacies as well. Now I write it down for the places. If you're going to the Philippines, well, I know now it's COVID. There's like 10 days quarantine day. And if you're going there for 2 weeks, I don't think it's gonna work out. Maybe when the quarantine is lifted. So if you're going to Luzon, there's Fort Santiago, there's Bonifacio Global, the Pink Sister Chapel, the Intramuros, and did you know that the biggest mall in Asia is in the Philippines? That's the mall.
Okay.
You need 2 days to go around. And then, of course, the oldest university, the Santo Tomas University. For Visayas, we have the Cebu City, the Chocolate Hills. We have the Port San Antonio and the Aloha Beach. And, of course, the famous Boracay Beach. So it's white sand and it's just so nice. Now, for Davao, we have the Zamboanga, the Davao City, where our president lived. That's where he came from in Davao. And so there are famous in durian. It's a delicious fruit, but very stinky. But it's delicious though.
But it tastes good.
It tastes good. I'll tell you guys, it tastes good. Yeah. So
I experienced the smell of that when I was there, and I tell you, I got out of the car and I said, okay, that's it.
Well, they have candies now. They have lollipops, so you would not,
You would not even.
smell the durian. But I tell you guys, the durian, I mean, those are like durian is one of the famous in Mindanao.
Okay.
So
I have just a question
Yeah,
of curiosity as far as the website or the where you have the followers. Do you provide, because one thing I'm really fascinated around is the history, right? And what's more indigenous, and then what is influenced by the conquerors, right? And the colonizers. So that's one question, if there's a site where the history is, because I'm really curious about that. And then the second thing is, now, is there somewhat like a resistance to to do more indigenous foods as opposed to the Spanish or colonial influence? Because I do think there's some things that we have in common. I think there's like arroz a la valenciana, right?
yes,
And
arroz
things like that,
valenciana,
which
yep.
is which is very colonial, right? And so I'm just curious to see like how is there fusion, or is there a little resistance? Are there some regions in the Philippines that are predominantly more Spanish influenced and others are more indigenous influenced? Just curious.
I think Cebu City is the one where most of the Spaniards, they live there, because most of them, like, they have the paella, the arroz valenciana, and then what other food, Ate Mayet? Yeah, 'cause
Oh,
I believe that most of our food are influenced by those who colonized the Philippines, like the Chinese, the first one, the Japanese, the Americans, and the Spaniards, because the Spaniards lived or colonized the Philippines for almost 333 years. So I think that's 100 years of, like, learning whatever the Spaniards can cook, The influence are mostly from them.
yeah,
And most of our names are
Yes.
from Spaniards.
yeah. My last name is Domingo and Cruz. So, I mean, my family is definitely. So I think, since we, like Marjorie says, we were colonialized. Now I think the most indigenous product I could, say is the adobo.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
us.
It's us. It's and the pancit
Lumpia.
and
What
the
about the relleno? Is that
and the relleno.
Spanish?
Oh no,
Like
the relleno is kind of like
influence.
Spanish. It's like
Yeah.
and
think
the
relleno
menudo is actually kind of like, like the murcon is how can I
For España, yeah, most.
but the adobo, the pancit, the lumpia.
The
I think
pan
I would-
from China.
Oh yeah, well no, the big noodles though, but the small noodles is actually more on the Filipino side.
I
So
think
before the before the adobo, they put it under the soil. That's how they cook the adobo before in the Philippines.
Underground?
Underground. Yes.
In
And
a
then
clay
that's the
pot?
only dish that actually can last long.
Oh, is it underground, putting in a clay pot or some kind of
Because
material?
as what my grandmother told me, like in a banana leaf or any kind of leaf that is thick, and then they just put it right there in a cloth, and then so it becomes. And before the adobo is really, it doesn't have any sauce. It's like dry,
right.
because they say that that food. This is just my grandmother, okay, telling me the story, because at that time in Bulacan, that's the only food that they can carry when they're running with with the war, and so it's easier for them to just put it in a small cloth and then they can eat it.
Yeah, yeah. But I heard that in the Philippines, a lot of Latinos or Spanish influence is in Palawan too. A lot of people there are mixed. They call it mestiza, mixed.
It's Cebu.
And they speak Spanish.
Yes.
The Sambuanga.
Yes.
Yeah, they speak Spanish.
Back in the day, my mom has a curriculum. It's part of their curriculum to speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Yes.
So but when 1980s come, I mean, in 1980s, it was taken out and was changed to English.
Oh,
Mhm.
And now if you go to Sambonga, you go in there, if you know how to speak Spanish, you'll be comfortable.
Even
Yeah.
in Pampanga, right? I mean, if correct me if I'm wrong,
Palawan,
Dory,
Palawan.
in Pampanga as well. I mean, there's a place there, Ilocos, or Ilo. I mean,
Mhm.
they are a place there that they speak Spanish fluently, and we still have it. Like the mesa, cuchara, cucharita. I
Mhm.
mean,
Siesta.
Mhm.
Siesta is Spanish, right?
Yeah.
There's
not-
a city up in Ilocos, Vigan, where a lot of the architecture
Oh yeah.
is Spanish and colonial. So yeah, to Gladys's point of, like we share a colonizer, and I think like it's still Latinx Heritage Month, and we're coinciding with Filipino American History Month. I think this is like a good mashup of the two
Yeah.
cultures.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the Spanish Latin influence still, it's in Filipino.
Yeah. I think
But I also think it's fascinating. Sorry, but it's also fascinating, like what the core is, right? Is much more indigenous. Like what you said about the burying the with the banana leaves, right? I think is what
Yes.
you mentioned. So that's also some of the origin of the tamales, right? That they actually
Yes,
use
yes.
it, warriors, and
Mhm.
they can carry it throughout. So I think it's fascinating that going back to like there are commonalities, but there's also a strong presence of like the original people of these lands, right? And resistance and being able to like continue to have these foods that
Right.
that have survived, right? All this
Yeah.
conquest and colonization, and that I think is probably the beauty of things like that, or things made out of corn here in the Americas, right?
Mhm.
Yes, you're right.
Thank you for those connections. I appreciate them.
And
And
a lot of influences came to the Americas, right? Because of the Spanish galleon trade between Acapulco and Manila. Some of the settlers of that trade landed in California at Morro Bay, which is one of the first landings of Filipinos before all of the, discovering, quote unquote, discovering of this country, right?
Yes.
So that just harkens back to the history, Filipino American history, where Morro Bay, San Malo, in Louisiana, where the Manila men were, predates pilgrims.
Mhm.
At least the Morro Bay does. So it's very interesting how where we are now due to the history that we had hundreds of years ago.
True.
that's wonderful. Yeah. And the Mindanao, Visayas, Luzon is segregated due to I never been to Luzon side. It's Baguio Luzon side, right?
Baguio is Luzon.
Yeah,
Yes,
I've been to
Baguio.
Baguio. So it's just that one area I've been in Luzon side. So I'm still trying to identify, I still need to go back to my Filipino history to learn, what each region specializes historical and culture wise, I mean, we are Filipino, but
Where is your family located in the Philippines, Miss Elizabeth?
Same as Dory, Visayas, my family in Visayas, Iloilo City, and the town of Miagao, the famous Miagao Church in
Mhm.
Visayas. It used to be, I saw it on the Philippine stamp. So I was proud of it because I was born there and I was baptized on that church.
See. How about you, Joanne?
The
Oh.
Santo Tomas Church, I think,
That's in Manila. Yeah.
in,
How about you,
in
Joanne?
Iloilo, Miagao.
Oh, okay.
And they had they have now the university of the new university of the Philippines is there now,
Oh.
Mm.
and the Philippine consulate 2019 they plan to have a tour there and other historical places in the Philippines. Just because of this COVID, that was canceled. So then I was looking forward to that because I wanted to see it, even though I was born there. I need to go back and see,
Yeah.
Yes.
the
I think
history
everyone.
that I didn't know about.
I
I
think
may know that Santo Tomas Church, but I don't know behind it. So what I found out from others is there's supposed to be a tunnel underneath that church that
Mm.
goes all the way to the cemetery. I like to see that if we can go.
Hopefully next year.
Yes,
Yeah.
hopefully.
How about Joanne? I'm curious, Joanne, where your family came from? I mean, where did your
Yeah, I have roots in Pangasinan. So
Oh,
oh,
yeah. No, Ilocano
Pangasinan
side.
has good
Ilocano,
food.
oh,
I'm
okay.
on the Ilocano side. So I'm on the border of I'm on the
Oh.
southeast side of Pangasinan. So it's closer to Nueva Ecija. But I have family in Candon, in Ilocos. So we're through and through Ilocano. My dad's still there with like my 8 siblings. So, and he's a
Wow.
great cook. He's a great cook. So he loves to cook like balatong,
Pinapaitan.
bakbet, yeah, pinapaitan. So Nancy, to your point, I feel that Luzon, some parts of Luzon were untouched by colonizers. And so a lot of our dishes are pretty indigenous. Like they use boiling methods and steaming methods and bagong, which is like the fermented shrimp and fish. So it's like, yeah, it's almost untouched by colonial flavors. So you'll get like the bitter, you'll get a lot of the bitter vegetables, like the bitter melon, ampalaya, things like that. So yeah,
Which is, I am encouraging everyone to taste it because it's very healthy.
it's super healthy.
Oo.
Yeah.
But there's also, I've heard in that area, there's also some old town there that they still practice like centuries ago. I cannot find it on top of my head, but I heard about it from some of my friends that came from that area.
Well, there's still a lot of tribes up
Yeah,
in,
tribes.
there's still a lot of like indigenous folks still, practicing and, carrying out their heritage as they should. And yeah, there's still many parts of like, especially the mountainous areas where technology and Western culture hasn't touched as much. And I appreciate that, that
Yeah.
they didn't totally like give in to Western traditions and that they're keeping their heritage alive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, this is good because I'm really interested on like in Luzon what food they specializes and what's the historical side of it they're famous with, and then the Visayan, what they're specializing in on food, then the Mindanao, those are really good because it's really educational, and for those of us Filipino, I went to school here and took a humanities Filipino history because when I'm with our Kababayan, sometimes I get lost because I don't know much about the history. So, I would like to be able to join the conversation comfortably. So,
Mhm.
but it's still a learning process for me.
Well, you know what, Miss Elizabeth, even though I was born there and I was raised there, I'm age when I came here in America. I'm still, knowing my own mother country. I mean, I'm still learning new things. So 'cause there's a lot.
Because
Mhm.
yeah, there's so much to discover in the Philippines.
Mhm.
There's so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're at 7,000 islands.
7
High tide or low tide?
Miss Universe question.
Miss Universe answer by Charlene Gonzalez. She was asked in the year 2000. I'm not sure if I'm saying the right. So
it
she
was-
was asked how many islands does a Philippine have, and then she said that low tide, right?
I love it. I love that.
It was so smart, but I don't know the answer. Maybe you can Google it.
1,000+. Yeah.
It's another
Don't
Miss
forget
Universe.
to put low tide or
Yeah,
or
right.
high tide.
Who was the first Philippine
Miss
Miss
Universe?
Universe?
Gloria
Gloria Diaz.
Gloria
When they-
Diaz.
When they asked her, "Oh, is it true that Filipinos eat with their hands?"
Yes.
And
I
then
like
she
the answer.
answered, "Why do you eat with your feet?"
Your feet?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very, very interesting question to ask during this was like in the 60s, 70s.
Yes, 1969 to be exact, because my mom graduated from college 1969, so she will never forget. Also, there's another question that was asked her. The main question was, if the astronaut will knock on your door, what will you do? And she answered, well, I'll open the door and let them in and ask what they want to eat. So it's just, it's just the normal answer, which is, makes sense. That's
Yeah.
what you do. You don't need to like create more or say more.
And I love that answer.
That's why she's Miss
Straightforward.
Universe.
What else? But that's her personality.
Correct.
That's her personality, and she's straightforward, but she's beautiful. Yeah.
So
Then
beautiful.
yeah.
And I love how both of those answers stemmed with food. I think
Correct.
food is so
It's
central
food.
to our culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
The first, if you go to a Filipino house, first thing is that the first question is, did you eat? That's did you eat? Come on, eat.
When you exit, when you're done, do you have a baon?
Yes, you have to go.
To go box.
Mhm.
So
I have a when my daughter was around 7, 8, she went to a birthday party and she went to the mom and she said, can I to go this for my mom? So it was funny. And then she came home with a cake and she said, I asked her, why? Oh my God, that's so embarrassing. I said, don't ask. She said, no, it's okay. I asked first. So I was like, okay, you're such a Filipino.
well, that's wonderful. That's the way Filipino are. So that's part of the culture, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, I guess we're running out of time, and thank you so much for joining us tonight.
I have a game for everyone though.
Okay.
So if you could show me your phone right now that you added Norcal Kababayan, you have the first person that would show me your phone to add Norcal Kababayan.
I'm already a member.
Good job, Joanne. And then
I'm already a member.
Hey.
you'll have this too.
What's that?
So this is Miss Joanne, this is yours, and Miss Gladys, this is yours. Please
That's
don't forget to add GFN too, okay?
Yes.
So I don't know how am I gonna. Well, I'm also a seller, so this is are your gifts. These are your prices, guys. So
Wow.
please add Norcal Kababayan. Go to Norcal Kababayan pop-up events. Follow them and also follow GFN. Thank you so much for our founder, Arnold Pedregal. He is our founder. So please, guys, to all the people that's watching out there, follow Norcal Kababayan and also the GFN channel.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Sabrina Cordova, for creating the Norcal Kababayan Community Group. Yes.
Do you have any events coming up?
Yes, we do. We're gonna be on October 17. We're gonna be in San Jose.
Nice.
Yeah, that's too far. And then October 23, we're gonna be in Pinole. And then we're gonna be back in South San Francisco on November 6th, November 20 in Sacramento, November 27 in San Bruno.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you're gonna be here on October 16, we're gonna be in Bayshore School. Yeah.
There you go. And also if you'd like to like your activities be StreamYard, or if you have if you wanted to make some commercials, GFN channel can help you with that.
For free.
So can we invite GFN channel to some of our events?
Sure, absolutely. I will tell Mr. Arnold Pedregal and our director, Ricky De Los Reyes. So, yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I'm glad that I get a chance to meet both of you.
Oh, it's our pleasure, Miss Elizabeth and Miss Tita Dory. I call her Tita, so that's one also culture. We call everyone Tita, we call everyone Tito, we call them Kuya, Big Brother, and we call them Ate.
Even though we are
or not. So I can call, maybe Stephen can call me Ate because I'm older than you. Lailani can call me Ate as well. I'm older than you guys, so.
But we thank you both. We thank you. We really appreciate you guys joining us tonight. And Lailani, I think you're from Hawaii, huh?
No, it's just the name.
Just the name? Okay, are you local?
I am. I was
My
born here.
impression is you're from Hawaii.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Stephen from here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
So,
Well,
but
I
the
just want to
prices,
say
I will give
thank
to
you
Tita
to
Dory.
Mayet
Mhm.
and to Marjorie. You guys, you rock me, man. I mean, I can't stop laughing, both of you. You guys are good in TV in a way. So I picked the right person right now tonight. Kudos to you guys, okay? Salute.
Thank you. I was
Thank
gonna say
you
the same
guys, and
thing.
Gladys. Oh my God,
Thank
I
you.
am very. If we can talk about projects. GFN is ready to support whatever.
And if they
Um,
wanna collaborate with
Yeah,
the
collaborate with Norcal. We're all for that.
but-
event, we're all here.
No, and thank you for being so joyous. Like you
Yeah.
brought so much joy to this setting right now. It just,
That's the millennials, Nancy.
I love it.
Oh, I
No,
wish
it's
I am a millennial. Oh, come
no, I
on.
just think
I
it's,
wish I am. No, it's okay. I'm
we're
a
talking
Gen-
about food. I think that's what it was, right? Bringing in food and how much food reminds us, I think, of family and connections. I don't know. It just was really beautiful. So
I
thank
just
you.
watching Stephen and Lailani. I don't know if they understand. They got a lot of. That's why I keep smiling.
Well,
Well, I
Leilani
love that
and yeah, Leilani, Stephen,
Thousand
I'm going
Islands.
to pop up. Eat with us, talk to us, and you'll be, you'll be full. Be watchful though, because you're gonna gain weight. Because I did.
We all gain weight.
Oh my God.
I'm
I
the
did.
model.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. And yeah, we're looking forward to all of you guys' event. And we much appreciated your joining us tonight.
I'm just proud being Pinoy. That's it. Yeah. Keep up the
This is
good
so
work,
true.
guys.
I mean, all of us. I think we're proud of where we came from, what
Yeah.
kind of culture we have, what
Yeah.
kind of traditions we can share to the people.
Yeah.
Here in this country, who, of course, this country gave us opportunity to share who we are and where we came from. So,
Yes.
Thank you. We're grateful.
Can I take a photo of us?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. We haven't done this in a while, so let me see if I remember how to do this. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, got it.
thank you, Joanne, for
Thank you.
presenting